Well, I guess it's that time of the year where you get to check out the coolest add-ons pre-patch edition. A clean look for your UI, fantastic nameplates, a great damage font, many quality of life add-ons, and the cool thing is that all these will be updated once the expansion launches. And the easiest way to update all of them is through the new CurseForge, the sponsor of this video. Now listen, we tested the app in its alpha and we had great talks with the guys at Overwolf, and they genuinely want to make this as transparent as possible. The app is great, although there's still work to be done. You can opt out of data collection, which was one of our biggest concerns when reviewing the app. And 70% of the revenue is going to the add-on devs, which we very much support. Try it out for yourself and decide. I know we are using it and planned to use it long before any discussions with them, so big thank you to them, and now let's get you some awesome WeakAuras first. You know we're loyal and keep rocking LUXTHOS WeakAuras, as he has recently updated all of them and they will be ready for Shadowlands stuff too. You know, soulbinds and shit. First, be sure you install the WeakAuras add-on from the CurseForge app, or the link in the description. Second, you hit /WA in the chat and click on New from here. Then you click Import from down here, and then you go to LUXTHOS's website, which you can also find in the description. From here, hover over Shadowlands, then WeakAuras, and then click on the class you want your WeakAura for. Scroll a bit down and you can see here 3 modules for the main WeakAuras and the 4th for soulbinds. Just click the first one and it will automatically copy. Go back into WoW and hit Ctrl V to paste the code. This pop-up will appear. Now just hit import and you have the first module in. Now, in order to have the full WeakAura, you will have to copy and import all of the 3 modules, and the 4th once Shadowlands launches. So once again, New, Import, back to the website, click on the 2nd module, then back to WoW, hit Ctrl V, Import, and rinse and repeat. If you're still running dungeons in the pre-patch, then you will probably feel lost a lot of the times when a lot of mobs are pulled, and I mean lost in the sense that,
hey yo, where's my goddamn cursor?
Tap targeting just doesn't cut it, even with the new AoE capping. So if you always want to see where your cursor is, then be sure to install the Cursor WeakAura by Ratsar. The wago.io link is in the description and you just have to go there, then click here on copy WeakAura import string, get back into your game, type in chat /WA, click import, then hit Ctrl V on your keyboard and hit import again. There it is. Now you have a big white circle on your pointer to help out in any complicated pull. Next up is SUI by our beloved Sienna. This will transform the classic Blizz UI into a more slick and dark shaded UI with multiple options for you to play around with, like disabling the griffins, fonts you use, cast bards, and many more. If you want your UI to look like ours, then be sure to type in chat /SUI and disable the fonts, the griffins, the cast bards, and the party buffs. These are the most important for you to disable in order to have the other add-ons work with no problems. Of course, there are other things disabled here and you can check it out right now on the screen, but just keep in mind, some errors can occur at some point and this usually happens due to other interface add-ons conflicting with it, like LUXTHOS, so be sure to remove that prior to installing SUI. The add-on is still in development by Sienna and he puts a lot of passion into it, so always be sure to show him some love on his Discord or twitch.tv/Sienna. Links in the description. Now, once again, you will see how to set up your party frames and such, because contrary to popular belief, there is no add-on for this, but rather some changes and tweaks made into the Blizzard defaults. Now, in order to see and move around your current party frames, just invite someone so you can create a party. So, First, hit escape on your keyboard, then go into interface. Here, you want to go down the list into RAID profiles, and before we move any further, let's have you be more organized. So click on the drop down arrow from here and hit new profile. Let's name this M+, and set them up for your dungeon runs. Be sure to have ticked the use RAID style party frames here on the top. Then check all these boxes you see below. After this, check the Keep Groups Together box. Now, you want to check the class color, the power bar for mana and energy and stuff, and basically check anything you would like to see on the party frame. Uncheck the display border option so you get an even cleaner look. Now, you want to move it a bit closer to your character, and in order to do that, click on this little arrow here on the top right, and then hit unlock so the handles are activated on the frame. Can you see these? You can move them anywhere you want, just don't forget to go back and hit lock frames so you don't see those borders. You can also make them bigger or smaller depending on what your preferences are, because see, right here below you have the frame width and height. Play around with them until you find your perfect look. Remember to hit save before closing anything so the profile gets stored. You can now make a new profile with smaller frames that are on the top right for rating following the same exact steps. All good up until here? Alright, great job. Now you have a clean and slick party frame. Since you have your sleek weak auras in the middle and good looking party frames, I guess it's a good time for you to get a nice cast bar too, and that is QUARTZ. Now, because you disabled the cast bars from SUI earlier, you can customize and place this wherever you want on your screen. I only have my cast bar activated and placed underneath the weak auras menu, but you also have the option to activate, place and edit the focus cast bar, your target cast bar, and so on. Just hit /QUARTZ in the chat, then click the toggle bar lock so you can see all the cast bars, and then hit the little plus sign here. Now, if you go on target, you can disable it or click on player and adjust it in whatever way you desire. Link for this is in the description through the CurseForge app. The font you see here is called PEPSI font, and you can have it too through the add-on ANYFONT. So, if you have installed this UI earlier, you were asked to disable the fonts from the menu. If you forgot to do that, then type in chat /SUI and disable the fonts option from here. After this, close the game completely. Now we have to get the add-on called ANYFONT, which you will find in the description. After this, you have to download the PEPSI font from thefont.com, which is one of the most known places for fonts. I mean, lots of graphic designers use it, but anyways, after you downloaded the archive, extract the content on your desktop and rename the PEPSI font into font. Plain and simple, font. Then right-click and copy. Now, go into your add-ons folder in WoW and search for the ANYFONT folder. Here, you will have to delete the font that you see there. Just delete it and right-click again and then paste. You should be all done. Do note that if you have other font add-ons, this will not work. Things like milk scrolling battle text or nameplate scrolling combat text, and even some of the LUI functions can disable this as well, so be sure to remove those prior to installing any font. Alright, time to get your target frames all clean and useful at the same time, and for that you shall go with Platter. So after you install it from CurseForge, go into your game and type /Platter. Is it Platter or Plater? I'll call it Plater. I know this looks complicated, but don't worry, I got your back. First thing you do is to be sure to have checked the show resources on target over here. Also, a very useful thing to check is stacking nameplates from here, as this will help a ton in Mythic Plus. Next, go to health bar texture over here and select minimalist. Now go to buff settings from here, and on aura size frame 1, place both width and height to 17 And over here in aura frame 1, place the X offset to 0 and Y offset to 1. This way you can have your debuffs just on top of the frame while also having enough space for your research display. Now, go into target right here and be sure to have the target highlight texture set to highlight 2, as this will be more visible during big pulls on mobs. I also changed the color from blue to white. Maybe this is subjective, but you do tend to see it much better if it's a big white glow around it. Another great target selection indicator is target bracket indicator, which you can set to ornament, as this will make a nice epic-like border to your selected frame. After all this, go into buff special right here. Be sure to uncheck the crowd control from here because we have a different add-on that will take care of that. And that add-on is called Big Debuffs, and it will help you mostly in dungeons and arenas because it will place big icons of debuffs and CCs on your party frame and target frames too. So after you install it from CurseForge, you go into your game, on interface, and then add-ons. Here you will see Big Debuffs and click on it, then hit toggle test mode. This will show you how the icons will appear on your party frames and on your target frames. If you want them to look like our setup, then here in raid frames, be sure to have checked show all class buffs and cooldown count. Font size 13 and no font effect selected. Max debuffs should be set to 5 and the anchor set to left, so this way the icons appear more outside of your main action rather than cluttering your middle screen. On the size department, this is mainly set up for PvP, but it works for PvE too, at least in dungeons, so dispellable CC should be at 100%, then other CC at around 95 to 96%, then dispellable PvE at 75%. Dispellable roots and other roots set to 81%, and warning debuff set to 43%. Other debuffs are set to 30% and interrupts at 55%. There you go, you made it! Congratulations, you hot damn legend! Now all these add-ons are available on the CurseForge app, and you will also find links to them in the description. In case you are still iffy about using the new app or website, be sure to check out our previous video where we go a bit deeper into the changes and plan Overwolf has for this app moving forward. A big and warm thank you to all of our Patreons who contribute for all the content we do, the regular class guides, the weekly WoW News show, the podcast, and many new cool things to come. And hey, if you ever wanted to join the team, Patreon link is in the description. You do know that we make some cool-ass custom wallpapers for your desktop with your main, right? Ha! Thank you for watching, and see you very, very soon.
I've been loving it then, I still love it now. Still, I play WoW. Still, I play WoW. Getting better every day, let me show you how. Cause still, I play WoW. Still, I play WoW. It's getting harder to stay, but at the end of the day, it's a guilty pleasure, so just log in and play. Whether it's classic or retail, I'ma do a /bow. Still, I play WoW.